Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. Great to have you with me here today on this weekend edition of the show. We do our Cabral HouseCalls each and every weekend. We've been doing that now for about 3 years, or a little over 3 years, with thousands and thousands of our community's questions answered. Always happy to be able to try to provide this service each and every Saturday and Sunday. You might not listen to it on a Saturday, Sunday, but that's when these shows are published. And it really allows us to try to help out a lot of people that we may never see in our practice, and they're kind of looking for that first place to go. Or maybe they've seen dozens of other practitioners, they still haven't gotten their results, and they're wondering why. Happy to answer those questions. They do take about 10 to 12 weeks to get to because they're all answered in the order that they come in. The way to get those questions answered about which lab is best for you, et cetera, or which protocol or supplements, by simply asking that at cabralsupportgroup.com. It's a free Facebook group. We do invite you to join. All positive people, happy people, healthy people, people that want to be happy, people that want to get healthy. We invite you all there, not only to ask your question, but also to share some support with others. Remember, once you get well or you're doing well in one area of your life, it's your job to then try to serve others and support them in any way that you can, so that one day when you're maybe down, that they can help support you too. So it's a really amazing group, and I do hope that you check it out over there. All right, I'm going to dive right into the questions today. Looking forward to these questions. And the first one's from Kerryn. Kerryn's asking, hello, Dr. Cabral. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Really appreciate your insights into health and well-being. My question is on behalf of a colleague who's experiencing myelofibrosis. She's a single mom to 2 school-aged children and slowly experiencing deterioration of symptoms, particularly fatigue. She's been seen the same haematologist for many years, and they've told her there's nothing that she can do. She eats a standard diet, busy working, parenting duties, gets regular physical activity and exercise. She also lives in a house with rising damp, it says, and her 2 children have asthma and seem to get recurrent colds. What can she do to improve her condition? All right, really great question, Kerryn, and I appreciate you writing in. So thank you for writing in for your friend, and hopefully she takes your advice as well that you pass along. So myelofibrosis, it's spelled M-Y-E-L-O, and then fibrosis is F-I-B-R-O-S-I-S. Please make sure that you check out the podcast page always to read all the questions in full. You know, sometimes I move through the question in order to be able to read more questions and give more answers, but those questions are always available to read over in full at stevencabral.com/podcasts. And today's podcast is actually episode 1142. So myelofibrosis is a bone marrow disorder or health issue where the body's normal production of red blood cells is actually deteriorating or stopped and broken down. It can lead to anemia, weakness, fatigue. It leads to an enlarged spleen. It can lead to immune-based disorders. So our job is to look at why this is occurring in the first place. So you have to understand this could lead to or be something similar to leukemia, lymphoma, or other soft tissue-based cancers. So we want to look at that first. My question for you is always this: why is this occurring in the first place? So remember, I don't treat, I don't diagnose, I don't cure disease, but I help people all over the world with every different dis-ease imaginable. And the reason that my team and I do that is because we know that there are underlying root causes that lead to all of these names that people give a disease name. That's it. So it's a collection of symptoms we give a disease name to, right? So right now, this is a faulty production of essentially red blood cells in the bone marrow. Okay. So we need to look at this as an autoimmune condition or some type of deficiency in the body. So I have to look at something that would tell me what the root cause imbalances are. So I need to run an organic acids test to look at other gut issues. I need to look at her B vitamins on this test. I need to look at mold-based markers if she's in a damp environment. So she could run the organic acids test. It will tell me a little bit about mold. A mycotox test will tell me all I need to know about mold. Both those labs, of course, we'll link them up on the show notes page at 1142. But every lab, everything for the most part that I speak about is available at equilibriumnutrition.com. And the other thing I would recommend is certainly the hair tissue mineral analysis. So the organic acids test, hair tissue mineral analysis, when in doubt, always run those two together. And the reason is, we call that our starter kit. And the reason is that it gives you all of your vitamins on the out, gives you gut function, gives you mitochondrial function, detox. And the hair tissue mineral analysis looks at stress through the autonomic nervous system, mineral levels, and heavy metals. Can't recommend that lab set enough. And then your friend, if she's willing to do that, then she's put her foot into the arena and she's ready to get started. So that's what I would do. Check out previous podcasts that I talked about. If she can't move out of her place and there's mold, I get that remediated. If they can't do that, the IQ air filter is fantastic as well. All right, Jill's up next. Jill's asking, hi there. I'm 38 years old and I've been sick for 4 years. I have chronic migraines and severe vertigo and crippling brain fog. Also hormone imbalance. I've seen numerous docs, including a naturopath, but I'm growing worse. All MRIs and scans show I'm healthy. All docs point to daily medication, which I've resisted. I'm very active, a long distance runner, raising 2 beautiful little girls, and I long to get myself back for them. Can you please help? I'd be happy to help. And to me, the long distance runner just tipped me off. There's a possibility that you are dealing with electrolyte imbalances right now from this long distance running that just builds up over time. I can't recommend this enough. You don't have to work with us. You don't have to run labs at Equilibrium Nutrition. You don't have to do any of those things. But if you remember, and not all naturopaths are the same, not all naturopathic doctors are the same, not all functional medicine doctors are the same. So just going to one person doesn't mean that you've seen the industry, right? So everyone's different. I'm training integrative health practitioners around the world, many of which are in Australia. It doesn't say you're in Australia, does it? It doesn't. I guess that Kerryn was just because she said mum, and they say that in Australia. But anyway, so you can see other people. But what I want to do is look at what's going on. I would actually like to run a thyroid adrenal hormone panel with you and a hair tissue mineral analysis. Now, if you could do a third one, it would be the organic acids test. So here's why. I'm worried about electrolyte balance, but also I'm worried about really just depletion of overall cortisol. Like you might be burnt out by now. Chronic migraines, I've done whole episodes on that. I would love you to learn about how histamines can affect migraines, oxalates can affect migraines, lectins can affect migraines. So I would love you to check that out, see if there's any gut issues. And I would also like to know if it's worse at any time of the day. So these are all things that a good practitioner will ask you. When are your migraines worse? Is it around your period? If so, probably hormonal imbalance, and we'll run a thyroid adrenal hormone. If it's worse in the morning, could be dehydration, could be low sodium levels. Is it worse after meals? Well, it could be weakened digestive function and a lot of your energy is going to that digestion. So that's why, we need more data. I would love to be able to help you, but right there alone within 3 minutes, hopefully gave you a lot of information and the labs that I would run. And if you run those through equilibriumnutrition.com, again, you never have to, but I need to give people a place to get well. And that's the only way that I know how. If you run those labs, I read over the labs, you speak with my health coaches, you get our plan, and we help you get well again. There are no guarantees in life, but we do our very best for you. And we've seen hundreds of thousands of people. So we've done over now 250,000 health, wellness, weight loss, anti-aging based appointments. So again, however we can help you, we're happy to. You wrote this in on January 9th. It's around March 23rd or so right now, 22nd. Yeah, 23rd. And you will, so that's been, about 2 months or so. So what I'm recommending 2.5 months is if you have follow-ups, you can ask my health coaching team at cabralsupportgroup.com. Grace is up next. Grace is asking, hi, Dr. Cabral, love the podcast. I lose weight very easily, so I like to have oatmeal in the morning with my smoothie. You say you have oatmeal as well before your smoothie. Isn't that improper food combining though? Shouldn't the smoothie be first and the oatmeal after it, or really does it not matter? Also, is it okay to add nuts and seeds in your morning oatmeal, or do you think it will cause too much digestive issues? Thank you for all you do. Really great question. Grace, I want you to type in food combining at stevencabral.com/podcast, and you will learn all about food combining. If I can find it quick, I'll find it. If I can't, then I'll have you just look it up right at that search box at stephencabral.com/podcast. There are a lot of things in the world that are not set and dry. So for example, when people have a faster digestive process or they don't do as well with just a straight smoothie, like myself, I love smoothies and nothing can beat it because it's easy to digest plant-based food with all those antioxidants that you simply wouldn't be able to even digest all of that. Like if it was not pre-digested with the blending, then you can do certain things. So for example, I do the oatmeal first because it's loaded with fiber and it has a little bit more weight to it, which helps my vata. And so that enables me to have that smoothie last for the whole morning with a little bit of oatmeal before it. Now, perfect food combining wouldn't even allow you to blend greens and your fruit together. So that's a possibility. For some people, it doesn't work. The question is, does it work for you? How robust is your digestive system? How strong is your digestive system? When I blend things together, I don't worry about it as much because I've done a lot of the digestion. Do I recommend people mix fruit with their lunch or dinner? Absolutely not. I've said it before, there might even be a podcast on it, fruit 30 minutes before your meal, but not closer than that to your meal. And the reason is that will ferment in your gut. Certainly fruit for dessert is a horrible idea. So I believe in food combining, but remember, oatmeal is basically like soup. It's mush. A smoothie is like mush. All of these things are easy to digest. I don't have any issues with it. If you do, then you have to go by your digestive system. All right, 782 looks like it's how to improve digestion and decrease bloating with meals. How to shrink your stomach with these food combining principles, episode 481, Grace. But I know there was one more before that. Yes, it was number 82, way back in the day, 3 years ago, episode 82. I talked about my grandmother's old world method for food combining. So check that out, episode 82, episode 481, and then check out 782. All right, hopefully that helps, Grace. Next up is Josh. Josh has a long question. So what I'm going to do is have Josh's question in full at stephencabral.com/1142 today. And let's see what's going on. So Josh is writing in, Dr. Cabral, first and foremost, Happy New Year. I hope this email finds you well. Over the past couple of months, I've taken interest in the study of Ayurvedic medicine in hopes of learning a more natural approach. In doing so, I've come across your work, and I must say it's very enlightening. Contrary to most Western MDs, you dig deeper into the root cause of a patient's problems and not taking a one-size-fits-all approach. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. Let's get into what's going on with you. You're 36 years old, and since you were 18, you've had high cholesterol. It's called familial hypercholesterolemia for those people who have never heard that term. Total cholesterol 411 with an HDL of 250. And Josh, just a little aside, I completely agree. A lot of people think they have familial hypercholesterolemia with 270 for total cholesterol. That's not true. Above 400, I agree with you. LDL at 250, I agree with you. Okay, let's talk more about this though. This wasn't a surprise as my mother has this on her side, talks about some genetics, try to become an expert on your disease. You hear about big pharma stories and how much they profit off statins. I'm at the point where I don't know who to trust or believe. As far as lifestyle, I feel great. Since my diagnosis, I've had a strict regimen of diet and exercise. I've done everything from veganism to keto with little or no results with overall cholesterol. I meditate daily and routinely work out for my stress. I currently live in Miami, Florida, so I'm not sure how practical it is for me to be a patient of yours being located in Boston, but I'm hoping to provide, you can provide some advice. I have a beautiful family with 2 young children that I want to be around for many years, and I'm in search for answers. I think our stories can relate to some extent. I'm hoping you can be that alternative doctor that changes my life as it did for yours. Thank you, Josh. Okay, Josh, yeah, I'm happy to help here. So let me see what I can do for you. I do agree that there is this tiny fraction of the population that really does have familial hypercholesterolemia. So what we need to do is this. For those people, we need to do all of the natural things we can do first. All right. So I don't know if you've heard my podcast on high cholesterol before, but I recommend all of the things that lower cholesterol naturally. So for some people, eating high cholesterol foods really does affect them. And I talked about that. This is a specific ApoE genotype. It's a 4 typically. So what we do is this. We go super low in cholesterol in the diet. Now, we don't have to do this forever. We only have to do it for 6 weeks. That's all I need. So we go very low in cholesterol foods. And we do more of that plant-based diet that you were talking about, right? Essentially a Mediterranean diet. You can actually do fish. A little bit of fish is going to be fine. Okay, so we do that. And you said that you maybe already tried that. What I need to do is have you used the high cholesterol based natural herbs? Have you done the higher dose of omega-3s? Have you done the higher dose of red yeast rice extract? Have you done the kyolic garlic with lecithin capsules? Have you done raw garlic before bed? Have you used berberine or other substances like that as well to help lower it? So if you've done that, and again, you have to use the right dosage, and I do recommend working with a practitioner. My entire practice is virtual. I am away for essentially the entire month of March, and I still speak with people during my consults on wherever I am in the world. I travel for essentially twice a month. But the problem is you would most likely be working with one of my health coaches. But again, I provide all of the plans whenever there's questions for the health coaches. So we work with people all over the world. So don't feel like that should be a limiting factor. But what I recommend is if you've never tried the herbal-based protocols for high cholesterol, do that, okay? You need to give it a fair shake. Now, for people, I've always said this, there's a fraction of people in the world, and they have genetics where we want to use conventional medicine intervention if it will help them to live a healthier, longer life. And Josh, I haven't seen it yet, but if you are that person and you work with another functional medicine doctor or you work with, I'm not promoting myself to work with, I promote other people. I promote our integrative health practitioners that are certified level 2. Meaning like when you need to do supplement protocols, I promote my integrative health practitioner level 1s with people that are looking to lose weight, get healthier overall, but aren't lab testing. They want to just get into a healthier lifestyle, do some life coaching, all of that. My level 1's phenomenal. Level 2 is for people that are looking to do more labs and supplement protocols. Okay. Besides the regular foundational protocols. But again, if you've done all that, that's when we would say, okay, we can't have cholesterol of 400. We can't have it. So we need to intervene with the statin. Again, I've never said this before, and I would never recommend it unless we tried everything, right? But then I'm not going to let you die at a young age. There's no way, because I'm pro people. That's the thing. And I'll do anything that I need to in order to help people live the longest, healthiest life. People are too dogmatic that they would never use a medication. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. I don't prescribe medication. I don't treat disease. I don't diagnose disease. I don't cure disease. I help people of all the root causes and balances. So I would look for you, Josh, with lectins or oxalates or other things, nightshades causing some cholesterol issues as well with inflammation. We would wipe those out. We would use the natural herbals. And then we'd say, if not, hey, we did our best. We'll use the statin if we have to, lowest possible dose needed. And then we'll use ubiquinol at 100 or 200 milligrams per day to boost those coenzyme Q levels. We'll make sure we get those B vitamins as well. That was a longer answer because, Josh, I don't know if you and I will ever talk, but I wanted you to have the answer that you deserve, okay? And again, one thing I want to be clear, I'm not dogmatic. I believe that I'm truly integrative. That doesn't mean that I deserve a medal or anything. It doesn't. It just means that you can't work with someone, nor should you work with anyone that looks down upon any form of medicine. I might look down upon conventional medicine because they try to provide a pill for every ill. But what about someone like Josh, who's done everything legitimately, looked at it, but still can't get their cholesterol down? Again, I've never seen the person. I've never worked with the person. I've worked with people never at 411, but I've worked with people over 300 and we get their cholesterol down. Now, but I'm open to that might not be the possibility for Josh. So you have to be open as a health practitioner to using everything possible. Okay? So again, I just want to put that out there. We've never done a show like that where I might be recommending some type of pharmaceutical, but in this case, we might need it. Okay. Kerryn's up next. Love your podcast. My acne has cleared after spending the holidays at the beach in the sun. You've mentioned that the sun kills bacteria. Was hoping you could elaborate a bit more and give other ways to beat this acne besides spending too much time in the sun. Been home for a week and it's back. Thanks, Kerryn. Yeah, Kerryn, absolutely. I would love you to go to stevencabral.com/podcast. Type in acne, type in bacterial acne in the search bar and check out the previous podcasts I've done on that. Again, it's always your choice. I can't recommend enough running the organic acids test, the stool test, and the food sensitivity test. I would do them in that order. If you have bacterial-based acne or you have low vitamin D, again, we can easily supplement vitamin D with simply 4,000 IUs a day for you, plus using our daily foundational protocol, level 1, level 2, or level 3. I'm not recommending level 3 yet. I'm recommending our daily foundational protocol, level 1 or level 2, because, level 1 contains the probiotic. Right now, I need to see if we can do a probiotic or not. So I'm going to recommend the daily nutritional support, the daily fruit and vegetable blend, and the omega-3, okay? And then after that, I don't know about the probiotic yet. And that's because you might have leaky gut, intestinal permeability, and bacterial overgrowth. So I need to see the organic acids test and the stool test. If we can run one more lab, we're going to run the food sensitivity test, the IgG one. They're all at equilibriumnutrition.com. Again, or you can run them with a local practitioner that runs the same exact lab, and they're an expert in this. Because people send us their labs all the time they didn't run through us, and they want us to then make recommendations based on the labs they ran with someone else. Well, that's why you run it with a practitioner that's giving you the recommendations. So remember, it doesn't make sense. Like, we build our consultations into it. If you get the lab for $100 less or $150 less, you still have to pay for the consultation. It's the same price overall. So I just want you to understand that part to it. Okay, so this, with the remove, if you have increased intestinal permeability, I need us to seal up that gut wall. Bottom line, that's what we need to do. So you can run the labs, or you can complete the Candida and bacterial overgrowth protocol plus the citricidal drops. Now, I'd love for you to work with a coach to get a little bit more involved with this, because what if your acne gets worse during your menstrual cycle? Well, we need to know that, because there could be some estrogen dominance. And we'll recommend something more like a thyroid adrenal hormone test as well. So that's why, again, you can't beat the big 5 labs. The big 5 labs will give you all the information you need for your health. It honestly will. I can't recommend that enough, because the big 5 are the way to know all the different areas of your body, what's going on. And then you can add that stool test on top of it. But I want people to do what fits within their finances and their budget. And so let's look at that separately and have you really hone in on what you need for yourself that's best for you. So Kerryn, that's what I would look at. I would look for gut-based permeability with proteins and bacteria leaking into the bloodstream, and that are causing the acne. We call it basically dirty blood, toxic blood. We start people with the 21-day detox, and we run the labs first, then the 21-day detox, and then we move into a personalized protocol. So hopefully that's helpful. We are going to keep that actually at today's podcast, because I can see the next question. It's a longer one, and I want to make sure that we give it its own due. So what I'm going to do is have everyone head on over to StephenCabral.com, and all of the show notes, the questions, the links will be at episode 1142. The labs will be over at equilibriumnutrition.com. And then tomorrow, that podcast will be coming up, and that'll be episode 1143, which will be more questions. And those ones start from January 11th, go to January 12th and the 14th, I believe. If you ask a question after that time, yours will be coming up on a future podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate your listens. As always, if this was helpful, please do feel free to share this message with anyone else it could serve. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.